It's been almost a month since I had this shift in perspective, the whole quantum, theory manifestation thing. And ever since I started that, I've been really keeping an eye out for synchronicities, signs from the universe, messages from the universe telling me you're doing the right thing, keep going. Now, normally I kind of, well, not kind of, normally I improvise every single video. I'm just like, oh, this is what I want to share, this is what I want to talk about. And then I just go ahead and, share whatever comes up. But this time, given the fact that it's specific incidents, well, not incidents, but specific things, I actually went ahead and created a little list just to make sure I don't forget anything. So if I glance to the side, this is why. So yeah, ever since I started that, I've been kind of keeping an eye out, and there's been a lot of things that have been popping up as a result of that. Some of them are small, some of them are bigger, and some of them surprisingly began like many years ago, and it's only now that I'm realizing like, oh, okay, like this is why that was happening, and this is how it all fits into place. So let me kind of begin near the beginning and work my way forward from there. So one of the first that I remember was one day I'm like, oh, I need to go do groceries. It's nice. Let's go for a walk and do groceries. So I leave my apartment, and less than a block away, there's a charging station for electric cars. And just as I pass it, I see this woman pull up in her car, and she goes to charge her car. And we just kind of exchange a glance, very quick, like not much, just enough that I notice it. Then I, forget about it, keep going, go grocery shopping. It lasts like, I don't know, an hour and a half, like random amount of time. And then when I come back, just as I'm walking by her car, she's walking back and gets in her car and drives off. And I'm like, what are the odds that we would be so perfectly synchronized? It's like, okay, there's no meaning. Like, I don't know who that woman is. I've never seen her before. I'll probably never see her again. But just the fact that the timing was so perfect, I'm like, yeah, okay, that's a message from the universe. And it's also done something similar like that for people walking their dogs. It's like, I go for a walk or whatever, and I see them and I leave. I come back, they're there. And, it's once again, it's like, it's not really a big deal. But the odds, like, what are the odds that we're so perfectly synchronized? And it's really cool. Whenever I see that, it's like, ooh, this is nice. Or other simple things like when I first, I think when it was, yeah, when I first went to my acupuncturist back when I had the migraines, I went for the first time, and the timing was just perfect. Like, when you get to the street and the light turns green and then you cross and you get the other side and then it turns green on the other side, and then you walk and you get to the metro station, and just as you walk onto the platform, the subway pulls up and then you get on and then you go and then you transfer and you walk across the station and you get to your next train just as it pulls up and the doors open and you get, and it's just like, it just kept going like that over and over and over until I got to the destination. And I'm like, wow, now that's what I call perfect timing. If this is not the universe setting things up for me, I don't know what it is. So like, there's a bunch of small things like that. And there were a few slightly bigger ones. So I remember I ordered something on Amazon, and once again I had to go do groceries. So I'm like, oh, maybe I should go do groceries in the morning, and then in the afternoon, once the package is available after 1 p.m., I can go to the post office and pick it up. But then I'm like, it's kind of cold this morning. I'll just wait and go do grocery shopping after I pick up the package. And then just as I'm getting ready to go pick up the package, I'm like, hold on, let me check which post office it is just to be safe. I've ordered a few packages in the past and they've always been delivered to the same post office, but for some reason, I'm like, let me check. So I check and as expected, it's not the same post office. It's further away. And I'm like, oh man, that sucks. Until I look on the map and I'm like, wait, that no other post office is literally right next door to the grocery store where I was planning on doing my groceries, the exact same one that I decided not to go to in the morning because it was too cold. So just like the fact that I decided to wait for some reason, and then I decided to check for some reason, kept me from, one, having to go to the wrong post office for nothing and wasting like 45 minutes, and two, having to go to two different locations in the day. So it's just like, once again, everything just worked out perfectly. So instead of having to do two trips, I only had to do one. And finally, the best example I can think of is when I had the relapse, when I was like throwing up and had diarrhea, and I had to go to the hospital, the emergency room, as quickly as possible. And there was that whole brain process of like, what's the most effective way to get there? Do I call an ambulance? Do I call a friend? Do I call an Uber or a taxi? But the thing is, I'm like, all those options, there's a delay before they get here. So it's probably faster if I just walk to the subway station and go to the hospital directly. And then as I leave, less than like a block away from my apartment, taxi just pulls up. And, even though he's off duty, like I go knock and I explain the situation. It's like he accepts, and within 20-25 minutes, I'm at the hospital. It's like literally the quickest way to get there. And it was just a sign from the universe of like, yeah, okay, your timing is perfect. You're doing exactly what you're meant to do. Just trust, have faith, keep doing it. Everything will be fine. And finally, there's another big one, so big that I'm going to make a separate video because I want to be able to really cover it in depth. And it's something that started a couple of years ago. I set myself a 20-year goal, and I kind of eventually decided to not quit, not give up, but kind of like let it be what it was going to be, not try to force it, because I tried to do that in the past with other things and it didn't work out. But I could sense like it's going to come back in the future. And now, given everything that's happened, it's like, okay, yeah, this is exactly what was meant to happen. That's why I shouldn't have forced it and everything. But it's just like, it's another reminder from the universe, like, you've been doing this for years. You just didn't realize it, and you didn't do it to this level, and you weren't conscious of it. But just keep doing this. Keep having faith. Keep trusting the process. You're doing exactly what you're meant to be doing. And that's why I keep repeating this over and over in my video. Like, everything is perfect. I don't have any fear. I don't have any regrets. I don't have any worries. Life is unfolding exactly the way that it's meant to be unfolding. And for that, I feel incredibly grateful, incredibly happy. And I can't imagine life being any more amazing than this. It truly is the most amazing thing in the world.